Hello, I'm Kat and today I'm going to be showing you all my autumn eyeshadow palettes. So I thought I'd do this one slightly different to my spring and summer palette videos. I thought I'd have a go at ranking these ones. So it was actually kind of difficult. I have ranked them mainly on like the colour story, kind of variety of shades in there, rather than I guess the quality of the eyeshadows, packaging, which yeah, I haven't really taken the packaging into like mind, I guess. I wouldn't say I really have many, like going just on the packaging. I have many kind of autumn looking palettes, so yeah, it's mainly what's inside, like the colour story. I've only got 10 palettes here, so not a massive amount, but these are kind of the only ones that I thought really like fit with the theme of autumn. So I guess we'll just start going through them. So as I said, this was really hard to like rank them. Like some of them were a bit easier than others, and like some of them are kind of similar, and then it's like, oh, do I put this one like before this one, or like it was really quite hard. So let's start with number 10. At number 10 we've got the Beauty Bay Botanical palette. So here we've got the inside for this one. So we've got this kind of plum shade here. I'll do some swatches of some of the shades as well. We've got this like green here. We've got this orange, which is not like a super bright orange, because I kind of think of more of a brighter orange more for like summer. So like it's a bit more muted. We've got this kind of like burgundy shade down here, and obviously you've got your browns. So I do feel like with this one though, it doesn't quite go like deep enough. It's quite like a muted colour story. It's kind of like mid-toned. So let's swatch a couple of these shades. So I've just swatched that kind of a plum shade and the green, and I swatched one of the shimmers. It's kind of a it's like a greeny, it's got a bit of a blue hint to it, but I think it's really pretty actually. At number 9 we've got the Colourpop New Moon palette. So I mean, I think the packaging for this one's quite like autumn actually. Like it's got that kind of colour scheme. And then here's the inside for this one. So I did put this one lower just because it's kind of more, I don't know, like it's just one kind of colour scheme, I guess. Like it's just kind of warm neutrals really. So you've just got kind of like browns, you've got some like reddy orange shades. I mean, you have got like a mustard here, but it's all very much like the same sort of like, you know, colour story. So I've just swatched the kind of mustard shade, and we've got that kind of dark like burgundy, and then like a shimmer orange. So I do think this is a very good one. Like if you purely want like kind of warm neutrals like for autumn, like I do think this is like a very good palette, like if you are just into your more kind of neutral shades. So I do actually quite like this one, but I'm just looking for more, I guess, variety in shades for like I don't know, like a top autumn palette, you know. At number 8 we have got the Oden's Norns palette. Like I bet you didn't really expect to see this one in there, like going on the kind of packaging for this, but actually some of the shades inside I do think are very like autumn. So we've got this teal, which I love this teal shade. Like I think that's a perfect autumn shade, and you've got the kind of muted like purple, like kind of plummy shade. You've got a brown, I mean you've even got a shimmer that is kind of that purple shade. You have got this kind of like shimmer like mossy green there. With this one I do feel like it lacks matte, so that's why I haven't put it as high, and you have got some of these shimmers that just don't really scream autumn. But I do think, I don't know, this kind of section here, I mean this red could work actually, because that's more of a deeper red, and obviously you've got the brown there. So I do think this is a good palette, but I feel like I would need to bring in like shadows from another palette to then create a proper like autumn look with this. So here's some swatches of this one. So I've swatched that kind of purpley, muted purple shimmer, which is a really nice colour. I think I did use that in one of the looks that I created. And then you've got the teal, I love teal, and obviously a brown. At number 7 we have got the Lois Cosmetics Meet Me in the Underworld. So this is quite an old palette. I do really love the packaging for this one. And then here's the inside. So I do actually think most of this palette is pretty good for like autumn. I put this one a bit lower down because the quality is just not as good as like some of the other palettes. And most of the shimmers here, they're more, I don't like satiny, like they're not super sparkly as well. But you have got these kind of like, you've got these green shades which are really great. You've got like the kind of warmer like browns. You've got this like burgundy shade down here. You've got this really like deep, I think that is that like a bit purpley. I'll swatch that one. And then like some of these shimmers here are really good actually. So you've got this one up here. It's really kind of like a dark, like muted green. So here's these swatches there. So that's that really kind of dark. It's like it is a bit more of a burgundy actually. I don't know, kind of plum burgundy, like in between. It has got a bit of a purpley hint to it, and then you've got the kind of like mossy green, and then this is that forest green shade that I was talking about. So if you can see there, it hasn't really got like a super sparkle to it. It's more like a sheen, like satiny finish. I think they're called like satin ones, but yeah, it's just more of a sheen. So, but yeah, I think the kind of overall colour scheme of this does lean quite autumn though. At number 6, we've got the Cosmic Beauty Neutrals palette. And this one I think is like perfect neutral palette for autumn. So it is purely neutrals. You have got a few more kind of like, I've swatched that one, but it's a bit more of a, I don't know, maybe a burgundy purpley colour. We'll swatch it. But the rest of the palette is pretty much like browns. You have got kind of mustard shade here, but it is mostly just browns and kind of golds. So very much just like a neutral palette, but you have got a lot of variety here. And yeah, I think if you're into your neutrals, this is a very good palette. Like you couldn't go wrong with this, and like the quality for Cosmic Beauty is amazing as well. So here we've got some shades. So this one is more of a plum, I would say. It's leaning more purple, and then you've got mustard, and then I've swatched actually, is that a duo or multi-chrome? So it's got kind of green, gold, orange. I think it is actually a multi-chrome one. There's this one here that I swatched. So it's got orange as well, I guess. Which I think that's a very good autumn shade actually. Yeah, I think that one would be really nice. At number 5, halfway there, we have got the Oden Stone and Rock palette. And here is this one. So this one is very much, I don't know, it's kind of half green, half brown. Actually, no, it's more, we've only got a few browns. So it's mostly a green palette, but these greens I just think are perfect for autumn. You know, you've got the kind of grungy, murky greens, which is great. And you've got a couple of browns here. And yeah, you've got this kind of green shimmer here as well. But yeah, these kind of green mattes here especially, I think are just great for autumn. So here we go, we've got a couple of the greens there. And then I swatched that very dark brown actually. It is quite dark. It's a bit more of a kind of cooler brown, but I do think that still works very much for autumn. So yeah, I do really like this palette. I love my kind of grungy greens, so I do really like this one. At number 4, I really wanted to put this one higher, but that's just because I really love this palette. I had to be really kind of critical here and be like, no, this cannot be a number 1. Like, there's just no way. Even though I love the palette so much, it can't be. So this is the Glamlite, the Lord of the Rings palette. And I love Lord of the Rings, so that's why I wanted to put it at the top. But if we look inside, it has got very good autumn shades, but I don't think enough of the palette is like autumn to put it at the top. We've got all these shades down here, which I think are really good actually. You've got like the kind of dark forest green, you've got burgundy, you've got this kind of muted like plum shade, and you've got another green here, you've got like kind of darker mustard shade, and then some of these shimmers would be very good for autumn. But then you have got like these kind of purpley blues here, which I don't think fit so much. These kind of like brighter greens. I mean, this one's a bit more muted, so it could maybe work, but it's still quite light. It's quite like pastel-y. Yeah, so I wanted to put this one higher, but it just, yeah, no, it shouldn't be. But yeah, I do very much think these kind of shades down here are very good. So here we go, there's a few of them. So we've got the kind of mustard, we've got the kind of muted dark plum, and then the burgundy shade. And number 3, getting closer to the top, we have got Cosmic Beauty Undergrowth palette. And I mean, look at that packaging, that's really lovely packaging there. So I think this is another amazing autumn one. So this is more green focused. Majority of the palette is green. You have got this more kind of orange shade down here, some like a bit more of a browny shade. You've got some golds. It is very much a green palette. Obviously I love colourful makeup, so That's why I've put this one higher than the kind of neutral one, which obviously was in a kind of similar, like it's only got a few kind of variety of shades, but I do really love greens. I love my kind of murky greens as well, like the grungy shades. So here's these ones. So I've swatched that kind of like orangey shade. We've got one of the kind of grungy greens, and then I swatched one of the shimmers, which is called Boggy. So I think that's a great name for it. So it's kind of like a browny green. I think it's a bit of a duochrome. But yeah, I think that's really nice. Like, I think this is a great one. It is mostly greens. This one is a bit more kind of a brown, but you are looking at making, and you've got a kind of lighter brown shade there. You have got this shade actually, that's very dark. Let me swatch that. I don't think that's a full-on black. I think it's just a very, very dark brown. Is it? I'm not sure actually. It is quite dark. So you can like deepen up like the look if you really want to. And then at number 2, we've got Oden's Eye with the Red Dragon palette. I wasn't expecting this one to be so high actually, but just comparing it to the other ones, I thought it should be. So because of the variety of shades in this, so you've got your browns, you've got kind of like orangey shade up here, like a muted orange, you've got a kind of murky like grungy green shade, you've got, I mean this one's more of an orange here, you've got kind of like your darker like reds, burgundies. I just thought this one had quite a good variety of shades for autumn. Like you've got like multiple colours in here, you know, brown, green, orange, red, and they're all quite that kind of like tone, like deeper, murky, like muted. So I swatched them down here. So you've got the kind of mustard shade, you have got the orange, so it's a little bit brighter but it's still more of a muted shade. It's one of the greens, and then I did swatch the Overheat shimmer, which that's one of my favourite shimmers. I love that one, which is kind of like a peachy colour to it. It's just really pretty. I just swatched the brown as well, so you have got like a darker brown there, so you can like deepen up all the like shades. And then finally for number 1, this was really hard to decide on, but I think this deserves to come at the top the most because of the variety of shades in here. So you could create a variety of looks, and that is the Cosmic Beauty Muse palette. So here we go. I do think it's missing some things, but overall I just think it's got the most like shades in it. So let's go through them. So we've got greens, you've got like a muted pink, which I think works very well. You've got this kind of, I mean this is probably one of the more brighter shades, but it's still a bit more of a kind of muted purple. You've got some more greens, you've got like a variety of greens in this one. You've got some browns, you've got kind of like burgundy shades, you've got like a mustard here. I mean you've got this shade which is a bit of a mint, but it's kind of like a softer like muted one. So I do think this is one of the best like autumn palettes that I own. It's just got like so many different shades in it. Like you could create a lot of different like autumn looks with this. You know, you could use the mustard to create a look, you could go for more of just like a brownie look. Obviously you can go for just a green, you could do like a mustard and a green maybe. Let's swatch some of these. Alright, here we go. So I've swatched them down here. We're going down my arm. So you've got that kind of muted pink shade, so it's like a dusky pink, so that's very nice. You've got like the mustard shade, there's one of the kind of murky greens, and then you've got this like really dark kind of burgundy shade. I swatched a couple of the shimmers as well. So this is kind of like a dusky muted like pinky purple shade, and then there's one of the greens I swatched as well. So yeah, I do think this is a really good palette like for autumn, just so many options. So in regards to shades that I think are, I don't know, like missing or that would be in like a perfect autumn palette for me, I think it needs teal and probably a dark brown, because these two, that one's more of a burgundy and that's leaning more like plum shade. So this is the brown, so I would say a deep brown. But what other shades have we got? So I'm thinking burgundy, teal, plum, mustard, greens, like murky greens, this kind of like muted shades, which we've got some of them. Yeah, so maybe this is only missing kind of like the tealy shade really, and like a deep brown. So yeah, I think this does a pretty good job of yeah, being like an autumn palette. I'm not sure when this palette came out. Obviously it's got like flowers on the front, so I'm thinking maybe it didn't release around autumn. But yeah, I do think this is a really good palette. This was really hard for me to rank these. I'm loving doing the rankings though. I'm going to try and do more of these. So I think when it comes to winter, and I do my winter palettes, I'll probably try and rank them as well. Although I'm not sure how many of them I've got, because I know one off the top of my head. But I think I don't think I'm going to have many kind of like winter palettes for that. So I am going to do a autumn makeup video using these palettes to create a look. I have already thought of something. I think I'm going to do a bit of a kind of mustard eye look. So I'm not sure if I've already done that. I think I'd done a autumn makeup last year, which was more of like an orangey one. So I think I might go try and do like a mustard brown look. I think that could be good. So let me know your thoughts on like my ranking. Which one would you put at the top? Like, do you agree with how I've ranked them? And I mean, there's plenty of other autumn palettes. Like, I've seen people showing off their kind of autumn palettes already, so I have seen plenty that I haven't got. So let me know what your kind of favorite autumn palette is, like if it's not in the pile that I showed you. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like and subscribe if you'd like to see more from me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.